It's time for the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Each week, Trading Stocks Made Easy demystifies stock trading and investing so you can profit big. And now, here's the host of Trading Stocks Made Easy, the wealthy investor, Tyrone Jackson.
Hey, it's Tyrone Jackson, the wealthy investor, and welcome back to Trading Stocks Made Easy. You know how much I love our time together. I really, really do. Hey, listen, in this episode, I want to talk to you about high-frequency trading and why it is that very often when you're high-frequently trading, meaning trading a lot, almost like a day trader, you could actually be earning less money. And I've been talking a lot about this subject in my live classes, warning my students of their middle-class mentality and how thinking like a middle-class person could actually cause you to lose money. So, a lot that I want to walk you through here in this particular episode. So sit back, relax, get comfortable, and I'll be right back right after you listen to this.
You're listening to the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Want to learn more about how to trade and invest in the stock market? Visit thewealthyinvestor.net/products. That's thewealthyinvestor.net/products and order the Wealthy Investor's Guide to Stock Market Success audio series. This easy-to-follow 5-CD audio series and manual will teach you the basics of how to buy and sell stocks, how to collect quarterly dividends for life, plus hidden income generating strategies like covered call writing and volatility trading. Start creating financial freedom right now. Get the financial education you need to get ahead. Visit thewealthyinvestor.net/products.
Hey, you can start your membership over at witradeschool.com if you'd like to follow my trades and see what it is I'm actually trading. And I answer your trading and investing questions every single week. That's witradeschool.com. Don't try to figure out all of these trades on your own, covered call writing, volatility trading. Let me help you. And I know most people are actually surprised when in our weekly video lesson, I actually say your name and respond to your question, but that really is me. So start your membership at WI Trade School right now. In this episode, I want to talk to you about being middle class, your thinking, and high-frequency trading. So, I teach this strategy that is the best strategy in the world for a retail investor like you, someone trading from home, and it's covered call writing. And as I talk about on the show constantly, covered call writing involves selling an option to someone you don't know to buy the stock away from you at a higher price. Now, there is a technique called writing uncovered calls, which is also known as writing naked calls, but we would never, ever, ever do that. That's taking in income on stocks that you don't own, and that is very, very dangerous. So the best trade you're going to start off with is covered call writing. Why? You want a predictable form of income coming in every single month from the stock market over and over and over again for the rest of your life. So the first strategy I always teach is covered call writing because I want my students to feel what it's like to be making anywhere from $200 to $2,000 a month consistently. And what I have learned over time is that your success when it comes to trading is all about consistency. What good is it if you make $5,000 or $6,000 off of one trade and you cannot duplicate that trade over and over and over again? The way that you build wealth in the stock market is, of course, there's some stocks that you hold for the long term and some stocks that you jump in and out, which is, of course, what trading is all about. Well, I want you to imagine, like most of my listeners and most of my students, that you came from a working class background where the people in your life traded time for dollars. Now, it shouldn't be that hard to imagine because that's what most of us were actually taught. You go to school, you get an education, you go to college so you can get a higher paying job and trade time for dollars. Meaning you're going to go to a job and someone's going to issue you a check at the end of that week or every 2 weeks, and that's what life is all about. Well, I'm here to tell you that life is not really all about trading time for dollars, that is your background. Now, as I always talk about on this show with frequency, I was raised by a single mother who told me the best thing that could ever happen to me in life is that I would get a job that paid overtime. Now, why overtime? Well, you see, if you're working a 40-hour work week, your employer is going to pay you for that 40-hour work week. If you're in a job where there's overtime, then either the pay that you receive on an hourly basis is going to be higher or you simply get more of your weekly expected paycheck. So overtime in the working class background where I came from was a way to get ahead, especially around the holidays when things got really busy. So if you've been conditioned to think about overtime and earning more money, then that's your reality. You see, in the world of wealth, it works just the opposite. Your job as a person who is wealth building is to work less and earn 10 times more than the person who is trading time for dollars. Now, if you keep an open mind here, some of you can have a major shift during this episode. The person who is wealth building, and when I say wealth in this particular episode, I mean simply having more money than what you need. So, for example, if your expenses were $5,000 a month and your total income that you brought home was $6,000 a month, I would say you have $1,000 a month towards wealth building. Why? Because after all of your expenses, commuting, groceries, your phone bill, internet service, after all of that is done, you have $1,000 left over. Now, what happens for the typical person is that $1,000 goes into a savings account, or there are some people that are so consumer-oriented, the first thing that they're going to do is just spend money. So there are people who have money who are very consumer-oriented. That's because they're not used to putting money to work for them. We see that a lot with players in the NFL and the NBA who come into all of this money. The first thing that they think is, what can I buy? Well, you see, if you came from a family that was wealth building, your first thought is, where could I put that extra $1,000 a month so that it could be worth $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, or $5,000 a month in the future? That is a wealth building train of thought. And that's really where I'm hoping to influence you to change your thoughts about whatever excess cash that you have on a weekly or monthly basis and how you can put that money to work. So let's say you've started your membership at witradeschool.com. You're totally into covered call writing, collecting dividends, and a lot of the other strategies that I teach there in a video format, and you love it. So now you're taking that extra $1,000 a month and you're putting it in your online trading account. I want to talk to you just for a moment as to how online trading is portrayed in the media and how certain companies actually sell you the idea of cheaper trades and the idea that you can be rich during the stock market. You see, they know that most people who open an online trading account, also known as a self-directed investor, comes from a working class or middle class background. In other words, some of the online brokers are banking that you think trading more is actually better. Now, why are they banking on that? Because every time you buy and sell a stock online, there's a commission. Now, that commission could be as low as $4.99 or as high these days as $9.99. So your online broker wants to sell you and convince you on the idea that, first of all, trading is good, and the more that you trade, even better. The question is, even better for who? Even better for your online trading account. Now, without mentioning any companies by name, there are some companies that want you to learn strategies that are high-frequency trades. And many of those high-frequency trades involve stocks and options. So for those of you who are a little bit more sophisticated and you've ever heard the term iron condor, that is a trade that can make a lot of money, yes, but you're going to spend a lot of money in commissions, and that works to your broker's favor. So if we take this middle class trading time for dollars mindset, and if your broker matches that mindset with your trading habits, you're going to wind up spending a lot of money. Now, what happens is you'll make money on the trades, but how much did you spend on commissions? Now, let me just say this before I go further. Your job is not to be cheap. Right? Like, how can I not spend money on commissions at all? Your job is to have a trading strategy that is consistent. So when the market's rising, you're making money. When the market is neutral, you're making money. When stocks are giving back a little bit, you're making money. Well, if your goal is consistency and not frequency, you're going to make more money. So when I sit around with some of my friends and we have a trader talk discussion, and we start talking about what we're trading and what we're holding and what we're investing in and what we're collecting dividends on, some of my friends still believe if they're more active in their trading account, they're actually making more money. And I can show them in 1 week in a trade that I put on that cost me $4 in commission, how I net more money than they do because they traded more often, which means they gave up their profits to their broker in the form of commission. Why were they so busy trading? It's because I call this in the Wealthy Investor Program, trading your background, trading your history. You see, programming is really deep and it's very powerful when it comes to money and when it comes to online trading. If your broker has sold you on the idea that trading more generates more profits, that's what you're going to do because that's what you've been conditioned to believe. Sometimes when we're trading in the stock market, we bring our middle class or working class background to our trading, and we think if we're just clicking, that means more profits. And as it turns out, it doesn't work that way at all. So the next time you see a commercial for an online trading or online brokerage house, look at the lifestyle that they're selling you. Look at the messaging that's behind that. Do they want you to click more or they want you to click less? And the answer is they want you to click more because that's how they make money. Paying attention to your commissions and the kinds of things that you trade ultimately will put more money in your pocket. So one of the things that I want you to be aware of is this idea of high-frequency trading. Yes, you spend more, but the question is, do you make more? So if we start looking at a stock like Disney, ticker symbol DIS, which has doubled in the last 5 years, if you think about it, if you put $10,000 into Disney stock, for example, 5 years ago, today that $10,000 is now worth over $20,000. Now, you and I both know simple math tells us that is a 100% return. Anytime we can take $10,000 and within 5 years it turns into $20,000, we're doing really well. That also means that we can take $50,000 and within 5 years, if that stock doubles, we now have $100,000. All we did is hold that stock and our money doubled. You see, if you really want consistency of your money having extraordinary results in the stock market, A, you need a strategy, and you need to trade less on the investing side. Had we been jumping in and out of Disney stock for 5 years, would we have been able to generate 100% return? Maybe yes, maybe no, depending upon the strategies that we use. But had you been trading with frequency, not only would you have been spending more commissions, you would have been generating gains, but those gains would have been taxable. So in other words, anytime I buy a stock and quickly sell it, yes, I make a profit, but I also generate a taxable event. When I'm holding a stock for 2 or 3, 4 years, you see there's no taxable event on that stock that is growing in value. That's why it's important that you understand the difference between high-frequency trading, investing, and earning, let's say, a 100% return. Because many of the stocks in my portfolio consistently produce a 50 to 100% return within a 5-year period. And I do what? Nothing. Just let the market allow the stock to rise. In other words, I let the institutions who like the stock as much as I do the heavy lifting for me. That is a shift in mindset. You see, trading more, as I keep saying in this episode, is not always the best thing. So what I'm going to ask you now is, how much money would you like to earn consistently from the stock market? Would you like to earn $2,000 a month, $4,000, $5,000, or $10,000 a month? Now, the obvious answer is most people would say, well, Tyrone, I would love to earn $10,000 per month. Yes, but is your core strategy going to be an investing strategy, or is it going to be a trading strategy? Now, I want to just talk just a few minutes about day trading. The reason I don't like day trading is not that you can't make money day trading. It's that most people are not very good at it. They like the idea of actually keeping busy, but they're not patient. Every year, I see at least 50 people who become students of mine quit the Wealthy Investor Program and move on. Why? Because they want to be busier, making more money. Those people need to go and find a job because wealth building is a slower process where you're not always trading, but you are patient. So whatever dollar amount or whatever goal that you set for yourself or whatever desire you'd like to have when it comes to stock market trading and investing, you're going to have to learn to be patient. Why? Patient people make more money. Now, for those of you who've ever been on one of my live webinars, twice a year we have a program that we launch which teaches not only stock trading, but also options trading. So if I feel like I want to be a little bit busier in my trading, I can trade options and hold the stock. So here's a quick little lesson here, just to give you a little bit of a financial education. You see, I can take a stock that I like for the long term, keep buying more and more of it every time it moves up $5. We call that building a position. But I don't want to really trade that stock because 5 years from now, I'm trying to achieve a 50 to 100% return. What I can trade is something called an option. In this case, a LEAPS option. And that is an option on the stock that expires a year from now. You see, LEAPS options help me earn what I call fast, sexy money as a trader while I'm being patient in the stock. Now, if you don't know anything about LEAPS options, what you want to do is go to thewealthyinvestor.net, sign up for the free newsletter, and guess what will happen? I will start to send you articles on options and stock trades that will benefit you in the long term. So you have a lot to look forward to. But even as an options trader, there are times, even though I own a LEAPS option, and some of you already know this, where I still have to be patient. So you see, once you have your online trading strategy down, it's going to turn into a game between you and yourself. Because if you follow the stock trades that I recommend at WI Trade School, you're going to learn how to choose what we call winning dates consistently over and over and over and over again. But even though I'm teaching you which stocks in this market have the greatest probability of going higher, you must be patient. Because if you're impatient, you're catering to your working class background, your middle class background, and the fact that you are more comfortable trading time for dollars. And that's just not what wealth building is all about. Wealth building requires being patient. If you're willing to be patient and let your money grow week to week, day to day, your life will surely change in a 2 to 5 year period. Back with more on wealth building, patience, high frequency trading right after this.
You're listening to the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Want to learn more about how to trade and invest in the stock market? Visit thewealthyinvestor.net/products. That's thewealthyinvestor.net/products and order the Wealthy Investor's Guide to Stock Market Success audio series. This easy-to-follow 5-CD audio series and manual will teach you the basics of how to buy and sell stocks, how to collect quarterly dividends for life, plus hidden income generating strategies like covered call writing and volatility trading. Start creating financial freedom right now. Get the financial education you need to get ahead. Visit thewealthyinvestor.net/products.
You know, it's always my hope when you listen to an episode of Trading Stocks Made Easy, you get a little bit more information about the markets and how they function. That's why I try to spread out your financial education into each one of these episodes. Sometimes we actually have a guest on, and sometimes, well, it's just you and I, right? Today, I want you to really look at what you were taught about money, what you were taught about wealth building, and does everyone in your family trade time for dollars? Does anyone in your family do overtime? Are there people who in your family or in your friendship circle who are really financially free because they have assets they've held over time? Part of being successful and part of being financially successful is that you use the power of observation. You pay attention to how people around you talk and feel about money, because we're all playing out our money beliefs. I'm asking you to listen to every episode of Trading Stocks Made Easy that you can find, because I think it will help orient your mind to what? Wealth building and residual income. You see, we're in an extraordinary time in the U.S. stock market where there's great opportunities for wealth building if you know how to pick the right companies, invest in them, and allow those stocks to rise over time. If you do, with the right trading strategy that allows you to be consistent, you will have financial freedom in a relatively short period of time. Once again, if you haven't started your subscription at WI Trade School, sashay on over there now, send me a question, and I'll be able to answer it each and every week on the topics that are covered inside the stock market. Today, I hope that you've just gotten a glimpse into the world of trading, and your goal never becomes to become a high-frequency trader because you'd be giving away way too much of your profits. You want to trade with consistency and use time to your advantage. Thank you so much for being here with me today. We have some more episodes that we've just completed that'll be coming your way sooner rather than later. I look forward to spending this time with you. I'm grateful for the time that we have together, and I hope that you feel the same. Until our next episode together, this is Tyrone Jackson, the Wealthy Investor, saying, keep an open mind, stay positive, and positive experiences will find you, and you will live the life of your financial dreams. Happy trading.
You've been listening to the Trading Stocks Made Easy podcast. Be sure to rate and review our show on iTunes. While you're on iTunes, be sure to click the subscribe button and you'll automatically receive our next episode.